welcome to our weekly Icarus Patchnotes discussion. Since I haven't heard anything from Karel, I am assuming it's gonna be a reading aloud instead of a discussion, but okay, let's get to it. So, we are in week 184, mission rewards update. So we have some mission reward improvements and user interface updates. We're improving mission reward gear and polishing the user interface so it's simpler to follow and easier to plan recipes. So welcome to week 184. This week we have updated the item rewards from missions and split them out a little more around the tree. We'll also briefly go over some changes and quality of life changes being made on the tech tree and contact device. And we have an update on great hunts and then go into detail about last week. Now last week some larger terrain changes were made to especially the Styx map. Especially at map locations I6, 08 and K15 map grids. These changes were made as part of our map's enhancements and to add content for the upcoming Great Hunts campaigns. If you need to refer to a previous build to be able to dismantle your base and move gear, there is a branch on Steam called 2.2.57 which will leave up for a few weeks. So there were people who had built a base at one of the three locations and then the base ended like up in the mountains. To cater for those players, the last week already they added an extra branch on Steam. So in Steam you go to the properties of Icarus and then you choose, what's it called, betas or something. There you can select the 2.2.57 branch. This will refer to your game, and more specifically the map, back to 2 weeks ago, before last week's map update. So you have the time to move your base from that location, build it somewhere else. Then you can go back to the normal branch. You can keep playing normally. This week, some changes in mission rewards. Now in Icarus, players occasionally receive special rewards for completing specific missions, such as the ability to craft sandworm, caveworm and scorpion gear. Now while these items were powerful and exciting back in the day, they lacked visibility because they were not integrated into the blueprint, the tech tree. As a result, many players either forgot about them or never discovered them at all. To address this, we are making a few key changes. Let's have a quick look at this image. As you can see, they are now all in the tech tree. This is for Great Hunts and Scorpion Crossbow, the Rime Tusk stuff, not the Black Wolves, the Caveworm or the Sandworm though. Those are normal mission unlocks. As you can see, there is a little icon bottom left telling you which map, which mission you have to do to actually unlock those blueprints. This little icon here means it's a Prometheus unlock. Obsidian is like the Prometheus specific resource. So you need to run Prometheus, the New Frontiers DLC, the Prometheus map, in order to harvest obsidian, in order to make obsidian bolts. This icon here, from what I can see, looks like it's the Great Hunt icon. So you need the Great Hunt DLC. Not sure though for Scorpion. Scorpion King is a normal world boss. Rime Tusk is definitely going to be part of the DLC, Great Hunts DLC, I reckon. But yeah. to the patch notes. So yeah, you can now see, hey, it's unlocked by a mission and it tells you which map, which mission you need to run to unlock those items. Some more work about the tech tree integration. Now, previously, these recipes were granted directly upon mission completion without being tied to the tech tree. We have now added them as blueprints that appear in the appropriate spots on the tech tree. Completing a mission will unlock the ability to actually unlock the related blueprint in your tech tree, making their presence clearer and easier to track. We have also adjusted some crafting locations to better reflect their placement within the tree. So if we have a look at this image, sandworm bow is crafted at the crafting bench. Previously it might have been, I'm not sure, but it might have been the, what's we call it, the anvil. I would have expected, by the way, this line going to the top, because this is the workbench unlock line, and looks like this is going down to another item, which I actually might be the anvil. Tells you here is crafted at the crafting bench. At least you know where to craft it. Back to the patch notes. Account wide unlocks. So player based and not character based. Originally, only the character used to complete the mission could actually access the reward recipes. This reinforces the idea of each character being unique. However, with the ability to take multiple characters across different prospects, that uniqueness has become less meaningful. Removing these reward unlocks to the account level, so completing a mission with any character will unlock the associated blueprints for all characters on your account. So here's the thing. Yes, you can bring multiple characters into your open world, and if you have done for example, the cave or mission on an open world, then you bring another character on that open world. You cannot do the cave or mission again, so that character on that open world cannot do the cave or mission, so it cannot unlock the cave or recipes on that open world. Still, you can do it as either a mission directly from the space station, or create a new open world for that character. However, that does mean if you create new characters, you would need to make new open worlds in order to do all the unlocks, or do them from a space station. So I can understand how they made it character, not like player based, not character based. Also, if we're talking about a cave bow, for example, it is a very good bow. Very good early level bow, crafted in a crafting bench. It is a tier 2 item. It is at least on par with a recurve bow, which is a tier 3 item. However, if you play on an open world, you create a new open world before you even get up to the cave mission. You're most likely already at tier 4. So there's no use for you to keep to use the cave bow, because by then you should have like a composite bow already. So they became less useful, these lower tier weapons. However, now with the unlocks being player wide, so player based, not character based, account wide, not character based, it does mean now if you create a new open world with a new character, you already have unlocked the possibility to unlock the K-Form bow. So as soon as you get to tier 2, you can straight away unlock the K-Form bow. You don't need to do that mission no more. Meaning, once you reach tier 2, you can straight away go craft yourself the K-Form bow, provided you have collected the resources, as in like the K-Form scales, which you should have, because in order to get to Well, not in order to get to tier 2, but by the time you get to tier 2 you should have mined some caves already, most likely. So you should have the resources already. And you can straight away go for the cave bow. So I like this account-wide unlock mechanism. And we've also implemented upgrade code to convert existing character-based unlocks into account-wide ones. So if you log in with a character who already has the reward flagged, the system will automatically upgrade it and unlock the blueprints across your account. This is going to beg the question. Currently on my solo open world I'm playing Olympus. I have not done all the missions there yet, so I have not unlocked everything on that character yet. Now if I would log in with another character, say my co-op character, it should then, in theory, unlock everything, unlock the ability to unlock for my solo character. I'll have a look when I log in with my solo character or whether or not the unlocks are unlockable. Reward distribution. Some missions previously granted 6 or more items upon completion. Sandworm, the armor, the sandworm bow, the knives, spear, etc. Same for the scorpion, the armor and the weapons and everything. And this made certain missions feel overloaded in terms of rewards. We've now redistributed these items more evenly across the mission tree. This should create a better sense of progression and help balance the reward structure. So, one mission for the sandworm armor, another one for the sandworm bow, maybe another one for the spears and knives, I don't know. However, this is only as long as you don't log in with a character which has this already unlocked, because then it will convert these unlocks to from character-based unlock to account-wide unlocks. So as soon as you log in with a character that already has done all those missions, has already unlocked all those items, it will unlock it for all other characters. So no longer the sense of progression. And that is the disadvantage of making this account-wide unlocks. We'll see how things work out. Upcoming item buffs. So finally, we are planning a round of buffs for these items. Now, many were added in the early days of Icarus, and while powerful at the time, they've since been overshadowed by newer gear, power creep. Given that they often require players to complete nearly the entire mission tree, yes, they're quite far away in the mission tree, we feel they deserve to pack more of a punch. Expect updates in the coming weeks that bring these items back into relevance. So again, if you take if you take a look at the cave worm mission, right? You have to power the device and you have to provide it with water. So at least tier 3 with a biofuel generator and a biofuel pump. You need tier 3 in order to unlock the cave worm stuff. At which point you will already have the recurve bow as well, which is also a tier 3 unlock, which is like on par with the cave worm bow. So why would you go for the cave worm bow if you're already at the recurve bow and you're quite close to getting the composite bow? So if they're gonna buff these things, so they become more powerful, they will become more relevant again. Question is though, if it's a tier 2 craftable, again, account-wide unlocks, it's a tier 2 craftable, you start a new open world with a new character. At tier 2, you will be able to unlock these items. Won't they be a bit too powerful at that point? I don't know, we'll have to wait and see when we start a new character on a new open world. Right, this week, Tech 3 updates. This week the Tech 3 received a few updates, including visual and functional improvements that aim to make it easier to understand and navigate. Some preparing for the Great Hunt campaign. You might notice some gaps in the Tech 3. Don't you worry, it's intentional. We have created space for all the upcoming gear tied to the Great Hunt campaigns. We already saw the Rime Tusk weapons, for example. These items will be unlockable by all players, but acquiring the necessary materials will depend on defeating specific bosses, both old and new. Old Scorpion King, Sandworm, Black Wolf, the Hammerhead Slug, Lava Hunter, and new ones like Garganotan, Rime Tusk, Rock Golem, you know. Another update to the Tech 3. Blueprint hover tooltips, the crafting content. We have added a handy feature where you can now hover over a blueprint and see all of the recipes associated with it. That's wrong. Yeah, here. All the recipes associated with it. For example, hovering over the campfire blueprint will now show you everything that becomes craftable once you've built it, helping you plan your tech path more efficiently. That's going to be a big one for example, the crafting bench. That's going to be a big list.
Indeed.
You're welcome.
There you go. So that is actually quite nice because it gives more the based upon that picture, it does seem to give you a lot more useful information. And what also might be useful in that case is like if you craft a platinum pickaxe, that it shows you what you could mine and what the titanium one could mine and what an iron one could mine, etc. Rather than having to go to field guides and click another button and then switch to another
Yeah.
tab and then search the item and then
That
it just doesn't make sense.
or hover over the node and then realizing,
Yeah.
oh, I need a
Oh
better
yeah.
pickaxe.
Yeah. True. True. That's also true.
I mean, after a couple of minutes mining, you already know you can up to like iron and copper and coal
Doesn't take
and
long. Yeah,
gold.
exactly.
You
Yeah, yeah.
can mine with a stone or iron pickaxe. For
True.
aluminum, titanium, platinum, you need at least a steel pickaxe. But
No, true. Like I
indeed,
said.
it is
Yeah.
nice if it's going to tell you.
Well, it's actually two tiers, so it's a very poor example, but
Yeah.
like I said, something to that effect. But you can see there's also the crafting materials at the bottom, so it seems quite nice.
Uh, yeah. Well, it already told you in the blueprint in the tech tree, I think, what you needed to. Good one, actually. I don't know. Never,
No, I
never
didn't.
looked at it. I mean, you
Never
unlock
did
it
as far
once
as
and
I
then
read.
you're gone.
That's a fair point. Yeah, I can't recall no either, to be honest.
Yeah.
But that looks new to me at the bottom, but it might just be that they changed how it was presented. So,
Yeah. Um, did you get the part about certain unlocks becoming account-wide instead of character-based?
yeah, I skimmed across some of it, but yes, it just means that you don't need to run certain missions multiple times. So
Yeah.
it just makes it easier once again. But I wanted to mention there that making things too easy is a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
So you take out a lot of content by making things and spoon feeding the populace like a bunch of bozos, because if
Yeah,
they're
but
morons or
like I said,
lazy, you know.
for the K-form stuff, for example, for
Yeah, I
the
know.
analyzing device, you need to be at least tier 3 in order to power it and
Correct.
provide with water for a tier 2
Correct.
unlock.
Yes.
So, not that useful power-wise, the Sandworm weaponry.
I'm
I mean,
not
it
correct.
has the built-in poison stuff, so that might be handy. But
But it is also like it's not like a difficult mission to run, so it's more of a
true,
chore than anything else. Yeah, there's many ways you could defend it, but
true.
you know, constantly making things easier and
Yeah,
easier and
if they're
easier.
gonna
You know,
buff those items next week, then they might become more useful again, because they definitely suffered from power creep. However, won't they be too powerful for a tier 2 item?
we shall see.
We will see. Next part, hover tooltips for blueprint sets. Now, in addition to individual blueprints, you can now hover over blueprint sets to see everything that will be unlocked together. There's this example here for the concrete base, building base set, which gives you concrete frames, beams, floors, etc., including the resource cost for each of those items.
Well, not per se the cost, but the items required to craft it. So not the
Yeah,
number of screws or number of
actually it
concrete
does.
bags and number of
A
steel.
concrete frame is 20 rebar, 8 cement mix and 10 screws.
And you can see that. Oh, there I see it. Yeah, if you zoom in a lot, you're right.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I see it.
yeah. I have a 4K screen here, so yeah.
Same. I zoomed in, but yeah, I
I
see
just
those
opened
now.
it in
But
a new tab.
ah, yeah.
So yeah. So I like that. It's telling you which items are being unlocked. Like a couple of changes ago, all those items were like, or most of those items were like all their separate unlocks. They made it into like 3 or so sets, like the base set and then the trim set for the half pieces and such, and half pitches. Uh,
Yep. Yep.
so now it's still the base set, but now you can actually see what's included in the base set. I like that.
And it, and it shows resist tier 7 storms, and gives you a little bit of an item description, and
Yeah.
gives you a lot of condensed information about having to open a new window and sift through tabs and all these types of
Yeah.
things. So it's another way to get to certain
A
information.
nice quality of life update. Now, a great
More
example
information.
here is the wood building set, although they are showing the concrete one. Hovering over the core node now reveals all the structural pieces included in the set, making it easier to know what you're investing in. Like, I only want the half walls and not the full walls. You hover over the base set, it says like, okay, it's not in there. I need the trim set, it's in there. You probably need to unlock the base set before you can unlock the trim set, but okay. Next to the blueprint sets, we're talking about armor set consolidation. We've streamlined armor blueprints by grouping full armor sets into single tech tree nodes. This is nice. Before you needed to unlock the 5 armor sets separately. So, hey, you could finally unlock the leather armor, but then you only had 4 blueprint points left. So you couldn't even make the full set. You could only unlock 4 of the 5 pieces. It's now all one unlock. I reckon players will get their blueprint points back. Now I'm specifically talking about people who are still like building up their character and who are still lacking the blueprints. I'm not talking about players like you and me, which have hundreds, if not thousands, of blueprint points available. Especially for those players who are still like building up the character. It is nice if they get their blueprint points back. If you've already unlocked individual armor pieces, any spent points will be refunded automatically if those blueprints no longer exist. So there you go, you get your points back. Now when hovering over an armor set node, you will now see the components included, the materials required to craft them, and the total stat bonuses when wearing the full set, shown clearly in the tooltip. As you can see, the brown bear armor, he has the head armor, chest, arm, leg and feet. It even tells you which items you need. Uh, it tells you like the total stats of all the pieces together. You can no longer see the pieces per item from here. the stats per item. There's like the total accumulated stats. For the brown bear is total accumulated 22 physical resistance. Like some points in the chest, some in the arm, some in the leg, etc. Total 22. Total of 38% cold resistance, etc. Exposure resist, heat resistance in the forest, and also the set bonus. 10% melee attack speed. Huh. Actually, since swapping armor is way easier now, I think I'm gonna, for my solo character, make myself a brown bear armor. For when I go mining or woodcutting or stone harvesting.
Yep. Attack speed
10%
helps.
melee attack speed. And
Yep.
20 melee resistance as well. Yeah, I have to make a mental note, make myself a brown bear armor and use it when I go out for resource harvesting. Man, I'm already mining pretty fast. This is gonna make it even faster. Me likey. Right.
Indeed.
Now, these changes should make unlocking and planning your builds smoother and more transparent, while laying the foundation for the exciting gear to come. This week, contact device update. We've made some updates to the contact device to improve usability and clarity. You can now view all missions through the device even if they have not been unlocked yet. Before it was like, yeah, unlock, you can't see anything about it. Now you can at least see what is gonna be. I reckon it's gonna tell you what the rewards are as well, etc. Yeah, this lets you browse rewards, descriptions, and other key information beforehand, helping you plan your next steps. So not yet unlocked missions. You can see what the rewards are going to be, probably what you need to do, like what kind of mission is it, build mission or stockpile. If it's a build mission, you can then like chain missions and you can maybe like grab some extra building pieces when you go out for your building, etc. We've also added clearer messaging to explain why specific missions are unavailable. Sometimes it's not clear, not too clear indeed, why a specific mission is unavailable. I've seen questions about this in Discord, and it isn't always straight away clear what's actually causing the mission to be locked. So yeah, more clearer message explaining why it's unavailable is going to be a good thing. Whether one's already in progress, but then you can't see all the other missions because it says, hey, you have a mission in progress. Located in a different region, sure, but that's never stopping you to actually grab that mission. On a cooldown, it already tells you if you abandon a mission, like, hey, this cooldown. Or affected by other restrictions, you will now see the exact reason. Good. Alongside these functional improvements, we have made some light user interface tweaks to clean things up and improve the overall experience. Well, we'll see. Looking ahead, we are in the middle of redesigning this interface's visual layout with a focus on consistency and usability. You can expect more updates in the coming weeks as we continue refining the contact device. Yeah. Some more info about changes to come for the contact device are in the future content, if I'm not mistaken. Coming soon, the Great Hunt's release. Coming soon, TM. We're hard at work with the Great Hunt campaigns as our staff plays through the various elements. We've decided to make some large changes to some of the content, particularly improving the rewards and legendary weapons. Now, unfortunately, this does mean we have decided to push back the release date. They told us so already last week. And we covered some of the reasoning in last week's post. We appreciate your understanding in this. If you didn't catch our new trailer in the PC Gaming Show, you can watch it here. And let's actually
Prospector,
start it.
Norex would like to offer you an opportunity. We have some dirty work we need you to take care of. At your own risk, of course. Keep your mouth shut and you'll be rewarded. You want to hunt monsters? Join Norex. And don't ask questions.
And don't ask questions. Oh yeah. Let's see if there's anything new in here. Oh, you've seen the... oh, actually you see here a bit of the mission tree for the Great Hunts. So let's go back a little bit. Chloride is going to be on Olympus. Gargantuan is going to be on Styx. We already had the idea because of the swamp background. Rime Tusk is going to be Prometheus. Okay, let's see. We have the mission tree for the Rime Tusk here. Oh, it also tells you some like if you finish the first one, Rime Tusk boss spawns less Vespers during the final hunt. Helpful. Another one, mutated mammoths will appear in Glacial Cascade. That looks like an open world unlock. Cool. So finish the mutation mission and then you will get mutated mammoths in the Glacial Cascade.
That sounds fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. Let's see. Whoa, some nice flamethrower action on the Gargantuan. Man, that thing looks fearsome like this, man. Being on fire and all. Let's see what do you have here.
Risk, of course.
Oh, that was Gargantuan coming rolling at you. Yeah, you're gonna be ducking away, that's for sure. Nice little machine. I don't know, is this in one of the missions probably? I reckon. Some more info on the weapons. The Frostbreaker, Gargantuan club? No, the club is for the Gargantuan. I don't know, Frostbreaker. Sounds like Ice Mammoth. Some of the unlocks. Minus 25% stamina consumed by actions. Can mine foxholes. Must be the hammer. Upgrades to go to it. We have here the Vespers from the Rhine Tusk. Chloride, the big round magazine. Is this the... No, don't know what weapon that is. Gargantuans, okay. And like, you wanna hunt monsters? Go to Norax, don't ask any questions. Gonna be fun to do, that's for sure. So next week, mission item buffs. As mentioned above, we are planning on buffing many of the existing mission rewards, Sandworm, Caveworm, Scorpion and Black Wolf equipment, so they better reflect the current state of the game and are once again noteworthy items as they should be. Buff them to counter the power creep. Good. Now your support makes these updates. Yeah, sorry.
No, well, buffing things basically constantly actually causes power creep, but obviously, yeah, it's a constant rebalancing of things, but...
These are
yeah,
OG items from like 3
yeah,
years
yeah, no,
ago.
they are. We recall how OP the cave worm bow was.
Yeah, at the time.
Yeah.
as in, well, OP as in it was surpassed
Convenient.
by the composite bow, which is an OG item as well. But yeah, for its tier, it's definitely quite powerful, yes. However, now with all the space gear, it's like meh, K1 bow. Also, the armors are gonna get a nice buff. Some more info for that is in the future content. Some info which did raise some questions, but we'll get there when we get there. So your support makes these updates possible. If you want to support the team, consider buying some of the DLCs. Like, sure, you have the base game, but they have a couple of nice DLCs, like the Art Deco stuff. What's it called? The decoration set or something is a nice one.
Oh, the art set, yeah.
Yeah, the pets bundle is an interesting one. Which allows you like a mission, unlocks for you a mission to rescue some zebras to use as pets, as mounts actually. Some better saddles, more saddles, slightly better. Not enough better to call it a pay to win though, but just a tiny bit. Some extra food and water troughs, etc. Some outposts are in there as well in the DLCs, which gives you a nice calm environment to build, test out some building. Hey, Icarus light. But yeah, if you want to support a team, consider getting one or more of the DLCs. Changelogs, new content. All character flag rewards from missions are now account flags when loading in with a character at a conversion process occurs. So as soon as you log in with a character that has already unlocked these items, they instantly become account wide. Our current co-op. Did we start new characters on Prometheus, I believe, eh? So that means there is,
Yeah.
there is no Caveworm and Sandworm and Scorpion, etc. unlocks on that character. If you want those unlocks on that character without having to play Olympus, log in with your main character, like your top level
Onto
character.
the open world.
Yeah, into an open world with an or create a new open world or whatever. Just log in with it and drop down. At which point it will like convert those character flags to account flags. So create a new open world to drop down with your main character with which you have done all those missions. And you can go back up straight away, but it will then have unlocked the unlock for all your characters. Like you still have to unlock it in the tech tree, but it will unlock the unlock, so to say.
Oh, makes sense.
Adding blueprints for all account blueprint unlocks from missions, so the items are no longer hidden in the tech tree. So when we log in with our characters, we should see a bunch of new unlocks, mainly in tier 2, I reckon, like the Caveworm stuff, the Scorpion weapons, Sandworm, Black Wolf, those kinds of things. Not the legendary weapons, mind you. That's great hunts, but the like Black Wolf knife and Scorpion armor, those basic unlocks you get when you run the missions in Olympus and or Styx. Adjusting quests to grant the correct account flags during missions as opposed to the character flags that were granted before. So again, switch from character based to account wide. Split out some of the items granted from missions and spread them out amongst the mission trees. For example, one mission was granting 6 items before, now the mission only grants 2 and the other 4 are now granted from other missions. So let's see, Scorpion and Sandworm, they both had a armor set. Sandworm also had weapons, so maybe now the mission which previously unlocked these, migrating sense, will now, or Crescendo, will now only unlock, for example, the armor, and another mission unlocks the weapons. Stuff like that. Like, spread out the rewards amongst multiple missions. They said in the patch notes to give you a bit more a sense of progression, which it will do until you log in with a character that already has the character flags for these unlocks. At which point they will be unlocked for all characters and there will be no longer that sense of progression. Okay. Couple of fixes. Extractors will now passively get attacked by animals. You need to defend them. I'm always used to run to the vein, put down the extractors, kill any wildlife in the direct vicinity, and then just run away. As soon as the map tile unloads, there are no animal spawns there. But extractors keep still running in the background. So your extractor is safe while still extracting, like no animals spawning, so not being attacked. Not sure how this is gonna work now. Something I will have to check out at some point. Let's see. Skipping one. The next one. Update cave entrance main mesh to not use call distance volumes and have static 1 kilometer draw distance. This should prevent the entrance mesh from culling too soon and leaving visible holes in the landscape. May require world generation again for properties to take effect. I've seen this before, where at a distance the cave is open, so you can see where the cave is. Then when you get close, all of a sudden, hey, there's this rock wall in front of it. And you can't see the cave no more. Then you go backwards a bit and then you see the cave opening again. Made it easier to spot a cave in the distance. But yeah, I like this change. This is gonna make it look better, feel better. Like you no longer you see the cave at a distance, but when you get closer, then you only then the wall is blocking wall is going to be generated. So I like this. Fix inability to headshot the UBIS from front on due to poor accuracy collision setup. I've headshotted them from the front before if they come running at you, but apparently it was a tad hard. Tomato, whatever how you pronounce it, now provides a little hydration when eating raw. Hey, makes sense, right? Tomatoes do have a lot of juice in them, so. Platinum lightning rod health has been increased to 10k, so they don't get destroyed that quickly no more. You have more time to repair them. Usually though, I forget I placed them, and then at some point I'm like, oh yeah, that's easy now. I had some lightning rods up. I go up on the roof to repair them, and then like half of them are gone already. But fixing issue where cake would not clean up on dedicated servers and audio for taking pieces would not play. Does this mean we now no longer have to destroy the plate when we have taken the cake? That would be nice. Cake now also requires butter to make. So you first need to turn milk into cream. And then it's cream and salt, I believe, to make butter. Both in the material processor. And then you need butter to make the cake. Probably instead of the milk, we'll see. Also, cake now decays. Okay, so they did not, as long as you didn't pick up the pieces, cake did not decay. now it will decay. So
Interesting. That's a little bit of a nerf. Yeah.
making a lot of them up front, yeah. Let's hope you can still check them in. You can now check them in a deep freeze though.
True.
Because check them in deep freeze, then they wouldn't spoil no more.
Although deep frozen cake doesn't taste as good as freshly baked cake, though.
Chuck it on the campfire to thaw out.
Yeah, I don't think that fixes the problem, but sure thing. Don't know exactly. I mean, yeah.
I mean, it does make sense, right? Cake will decay, will spoil. So.
Yeah, but I mean, considering the number of other things that need fixing, sure thing. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, but I
Doesn't matter.
mean, you could bring the
All
entire
good.
cake to, for example, the null sector, right? It would not decay.
True. I was actually wondering whether or not you could put the cakes on the cart somehow
Oh yeah, you
and
can.
then just have like a tower of cakes and then have that being followed on your,
You can check them
on
in
the
the
cart.
cart. Sure you can. But from now on they will decay, so
Yeah.
I've no idea what the spoil time is going to be though, but we'll see. Upper ice sheet in the null sector now has a lower temperature range, so it's going to be even colder, so we need even more hot drinks. And uses the Ice Mammoth Arena atmosphere type. We'll see how that is going to look. Yeah, make more hot drinks. Add dirt back faces to the tier 4 crop plots, so you can see the underside, for when you can see the underside through the glass floors. Okay, good. Creature scanner no longer applies a debuff to mounts and tapes. Well, I've never used a creature scanner. I mean, I tested it out quickly when it came out. Retested it out. It wasn't really useful. Yeah. They increased the scanner trace distance from 10 to 100 meters again. I believe last week it got accidentally reduced from 50 to 10. Now it's increased to 100 meter again. So, good. Let's see. Buffs to the ghillie and hunter armors with regards to the forest and swamp biomes. So the set bonuses should be applied already. It's in our fixes and no longer not on the future content. Although this might be a fix to the experimental branch. Small movement speed buffs to the ghillie and hunter armor boots. Oh, cool. Added a stat to resist the swamp parasites debuff. Is this the swamp specific swamp parasites? Do you know what they mean with swamp parasites? I mean, there's the slow down if you touch the swamp water, but I don't think that's caused by parasites, right?
Not really, but
No, the other one
I'm
is
not really
like,
focused on the fixes, but let's
the
see.
other one is if you drink from the water in the swamp, but that's just a normal generic bad water thing.
Which bullet points is it?
Added a stat to resist the swamp parasites debuff. And the fixes about halfway the fixes.
Nope, I have no idea what that could be referring to. It's either one of the two that you're referring to, because those are the only parasites we could think of.
Yeah.
But I think the mud is not a parasite, so it has to be the drinking one, but that's not swamp specific.
Exactly.
So, yeah, no idea.
Okay, let's see, any more interesting fixes? No, read obsolete buffalo trophy. Okay. Fix issue with a base blueprint as it was still referencing a character flag. Should be a count flag now. fixing issue where resources required for recipes were shown as copper ore. Okay, you want to make a glass window, all you need is copper ore. Yeah. Let's see. Any more fixes? Nah, not really. Adding the missing target dummy blueprints to the tier 2 test tree and adjust the recipe to be crafted at the carpentry bench. Makes sense, it's made of wood, so yeah. Alrighty. Future content. Great Hunt Mission Communicator rework. All Great Hunt device functionality has been put into the contact device. So no longer going to be a separate station. First they had like 2 different benches for it. I believe one to start the Great Hunt and one to do stuff with the biomass or something. They already combined it into one bench, and now they're actually moving the functionality to the contact device. Adding 2 character talents plus 2 character talents for completion of Great Hunts. So once you've done all the Great Hunts, you get again 2 extra talent points. Now I do wonder, does this include finishing the DLC Great Hunts missions as well? If so, it would mean buy the DLC, which gives you like the extra legendary weapons, but also the 2 talent points. If you want those 2 talent points, you would need to buy the DLC. I don't know, it would be like the first time they put something behind a DLC in this form.
Yeah, but I would say talent points aren't the be all end all anymore. And the fact that you got 3 free ones from just finishing the null sector obviously is one of them. But sure thing could definitely be behind those constraints. However, we should see whether or not that includes owning a copy of it or helping a friend that has the mission because he's playing it on his server that has the game purchased. So whether or not I would get it, for example, that if I don't buy it, but I helped you clear the mission, whether or not I get those 2 talent points.
Finishing the current ones, the one on Olympus, which I don't know the name of, the Styx one, Ironclad, and Prometheus one, Finality. Finishing the operation gives this talent points for all people, all characters present at that moment, or at least I think present when you started the operation, and maybe not present when you finish it, but then once they log back in, they get it, something to the extent. I'm not exactly sure, I haven't been able to test it out, obviously. But I don't think you need the Styx DLC, for example, you definitely don't need the Styx DLC to do the Ironclad mission, and I don't think you need the Styx DLC to receive those 2 talent points. The same would then be for the 3 talent points for Finality mission in Prometheus, which should then also mean you don't need to own the Great Hunts DLC to get those 2 talent points. You just need to like be present there when you finish at least the last of those missions. Also, how they're gonna... It's not a set mission then when you which you need to complete to get the talent points. The ones up until now, they were like fixed missions. This particular mission, but now if they say completion of the Great Hunts, if there is no end mission that will be unlocked after you've done all the other missions, then it's gonna be like, I don't know, some check like, hey, have you done these specific missions plural before giving you the talent points. Gonna be interesting to see how that's gonna work. We're gonna get a giant cat lure.
Huh. Yep, was mentioned from the previous patch note as well, but some other cat lure.
Splint. They're gonna give you a
5
workshop
minutes.
splint,
Yeah.
which next to fixing your broken leg, which the Planetside crafted one does, it also gives you protection for 5 minutes, 300 seconds. Protect against broken legs, as well as a small fall damage reduction for great hunts.
Yep. And the hitching rope can now be crafted on a character when unlocked. So I
Yeah,
think that was one thing
this
that
is
you
going
have
to
to
be
do is good.
a nice one. You don't have to run back to your
Yeah.
base, to the ranging station, to quickly craft a hitching rope to lead your animals. No, you can craft it on character. I like that.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's more
So
Great
there's the
Hunt
better
mission
way of
stuff.
displaying items and blueprints and visuals and recipes. So yep, I did that obviously. So
Fix the
that's
build.
in this
Don't
one.
check in DT with the editor open, kids.
Yeah, and
As
then
a
there's
comment
another one,
towards the
fix the
developers.
build GT. And there's
Yeah.
another one. So yes. Let's see here.
Updating
Lot on
every mission complete dialogue in the Great Hunts and replace a line to mention the contact device instead of the Norix device. Which one were you mentioning?
no, I was saying something about the little flame FX on Lava Hunter weapon. Now, obviously, it's a flamethrower, so there should be a small little flame at the tip of the weapon that ignites the gases that or the liquids that expel out of it. But yeah, might just be some optimizations.
Basically like the pilot light.
Yeah, the pilot light
Huh?
basically. That's what I would have expected. Um,
Some
So
more.
updated the spatializer settings on all weapon impacts to help better let the player know when they are hitting things like turrets or etc.
Being hit
Does
by
the player
turrets. It says, I believe, right? Oh no, hitting
no?
things like turrets. Okay, yeah. Oh
Yes,
yeah.
because it's like how did I hit it? Does it
Yeah.
hit? In most games you get like a tap sound with the crosshair slightly moving to show that you hit the particular thing that you are aiming at.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Icarus does do it as well. But
I
especially if
think
you
so as
like
well, but
gonna shoot long distance now with
that's
rifles and stuff.
turrets, but it's also turrets. I'm not sure if it worked on turrets, whether or not,
Um,
because I don't think I've shot many turrets. So certain
true,
deployable items, for
true.
example, is something
I
like
mean,
if you
if
shoot a
if you
wall.
if you hit an animal, at range you
Yeah.
already hear it.
Well, you see
But
the thing go into stealth cam, and then it takes 20,000 seconds of your life, and then it's like, yes, I know I hit it. Yes, I know it's dead. Can you please let me move? But anyway.
yeah. Update the collision on the contact device to be correct to what upgrade state it is in. This is nice, because I've had it multiple times where I've had like the base contact device, which is like small board. Then I was like 2 floors above and I ran into some weird hitbox thingy. And I couldn't figure out what it was until I realized like, hey, wait a minute. The contact device is underneath here, and as soon as I add the third upgrade, it's this massive high towering thing. And I'm running into the hitbox of the third upgrade whilst the bench itself is still the base version. So
Oh,
I'm glad they finally working on that. It was that annoying.
yeah. And they have set up legendary weapons to be purchasable via licenses and upgraded via biomass.
Yep.
So that's
So
actually a little bit of a hint towards how we would be acquiring
yeah,
them, not just
look two
crafting the legendary weapon.
bullet points above. Removing
Yeah.
individual currencies for each boss
Mm.
and replacing with two generic ones, biomass and license. So this
Yeah.
mean every boss now gets the generic biomass, so you can use the Black Wolf one to upgrade
Yeah.
the
I would think
Sandworm
so,
one,
yeah.
for example.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the generic currency in the
Mm,
sense, and then you would need certain number of the licenses of the particular, one that you would want to get. So you could, for example, and you use the biomass for upgrading it. So therefore, you could farm easier bosses
yeah,
to generate the
like
biomass
the Black
rather
Wolf is
than.
very easy.
Well, he's probably going to drop
And
less
and
biomass. So yeah.
the Sandworm is like the easiest of them all.
Yeah, pretty much. But obviously, they'll probably drop less depending on the difficulty. Scorpion King or the
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Organaton or whatever it's going to be. So yeah.
I'm not sure what to think about that. Um,
Yeah, we'll see how it works. I mean, realistically, yet again, it's sort of simplifying the actual purchase. And obviously, it doesn't oversimplify because you still need to get the license one, so you still need to kill the boss maybe once or twice or thrice in order to actually get the enough licenses to be able to unlock the weapon. We don't have an estimation on the actual costs
oh
yet,
yes, we have
but I actually see that. Is it 15? No, what
15k
is the
ren
cost?
or 3k purple exotics.
Yeah, but that's of the ability. Oh, so you also able to buy a license now. But I know how many licenses are required
I don't know.
to
I
actually
reckon
craft them.
one
You
for
need
each
one
weapon.
license.
I reckon
Well,
one for each
that's
weapon.
So would it be a chance drop or is it a guaranteed drop
Could
on the
be.
bosses?
Maybe you have to kill. Maybe the licenses are like boss specific, so you need to kill
Yes.
each world boss at least once in order to unlock the weapons.
Well, like I said, is that the guaranteed drop or is it just a random drop? So hence,
Then
it's like the fact that I can find. Yeah.
I would reckon it's going to be a guaranteed drop.
Okay. So yeah, I mean,
Uh,
in that case, yeah, you would just kill the boss
but
once
you
and
will still need to pay. Like it unlocks the ability to buy the
yeah, yeah.
license. Like it's
Yeah, but you need the bio, but you need the bio thing
you
I got
still
as
need to
well.
buy
Yeah,
the
true.
license itself, and you then biomass to upgrade the weapon.
I read it more like, oh, if you want to skip a boss, you can pay 15,000 rand or 3,000
I hope
purple
not.
exotics. Because it says here they're adding an ability to buy a license.
Yeah,
A, and the bosses got changed by dropping a biomass and
and
a
license.
license.
Yeah, and then I hope
So
it's gonna give you it's gonna unlock the license for a specific weapon.
I
So
think this is
kill a sandworm
purely.
to unlock the ability to buy the sandworm legendary weapon. And you have to kill the Black Wolf in order to unlock the ability to buy the Black Wolf weapon. I hope it's gonna be that way.
I don't
Otherwise,
think so. Basically, what I'm saying it is you just spend your purple exotics or your infinite amount of rand to basically just unlock everything as you wish instantly. So,
nah, I hope not. I
but not
really
you
hope
won't be
not.
able you wouldn't be able to buy it, but it also says added the widget to the biolab and workshop, but you need the biomass still. So I'm not sure, because it says that to upgrade it. So maybe you could buy the legendary weapon, but in order to
Yeah.
customize it and then make
Yeah,
it
but that
stronger,
has
you
been
need to
since the
actually
beginning.
pay.
Like you start out with a
True.
basic weapon, and then you have
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
four
But reading
slots
that,
times
it's
three
yeah,
unlocks per slot, possible unlocks
yeah.
per slot or something to that extent.
So they're also adding legendary licenses as rewards to the first and last missions in each
In
of the Great
each
Hunt
Great Hunt
campaigns.
campaign.
Correct.
First and last. Huh.
Well, that's the thing, right? Because didn't they say
Yeah.
that you could only kill one of the super duper big, oh my gosh, it's gonna stomp me to a pulp kind of boss like guys in each playthrough, in the sense
I
that
don't know
if you
if you can
choose
do
one, it locks
multiple.
off the others.
No, I
So
don't know if
yeah,
you can do the Great Hunts once multiple times in an open world. I hope you can actually, cause having to restart a new open world every time you wanna kill a specific great hunt, do a great hunt, that's gonna be annoying.
ooh,
That's gonna be very annoying. Like,
they're adding a small,
eh,
mm,
no,
they're adding a small explosive damage weakness to quarrites. So we're
yeah,
gonna shoot some explosive shells and tank your frames a second
yeah,
because I don't know when they're going to fix
we'll end
that
up
bug.
playing a slideshow. Yeah,
Yes,
just
but they should
don't
really
use
fix it.
explosives.
Well, I don't know if they fix it. I mean, we can test to see how badly the frames drop when we play again because we should get to playing.
Oh yeah,
But we'll definitely see. Maybe just do a couple of shots to see. Yep, it's all tanks by a couple. So we'll see.
we'll do it at the end of the of the stream then.
Yeah, we could do that. More sniper shot balances. Now that's interesting because I'm not sure if does that mean that they did some more like tweaking towards the first hit of just hitting it with a hunting rifle, or exactly what's being mentioned by that. But yeah, we'll see.
I'm more
Because
looking
like I
at
said, I
the
still think.
yeah.
Hmm. I'm still thinking that, the hunting rifle is still trash in considering the actual damage, unless you can increase the upfront shot stealth, n- you know, damage. But yeah,
Added a new mini crit weak spot to the Ice Mammoth fight that does more than base, but significantly less than a regular weak spot for when the Ice Mammoth has armor on. Ice Mammoth now has different crit spots for when he's got armor or when he's armorless. Makes sense. Decreased fire resistance from minus 300 to minus 500%. Incendiary rounds, fire arrows. Increase the head crit spots to more fully encapsulate his head. So, if there's no armor on, shoot him in the head. If it has his armor on, I don't know, shoot him in the belly. Something like that.
could be, yeah.
That's going to be interesting that the crit spot changes with the armor change. I like that.
Hmm. Yeah, so I see the mini crit weak spot that was mentioned again. Um,
Let's see a lot of more of the Great Hunts mission thingies. Oh,
they
removing a
removed
license purchased
explosive.
from the workshop and kept it in a biolab. Okay.
Interesting. They removed explosive weakness from den/spawners. So, that's some small tweaking.
So don't throw the grenade at the den, just hit it with your pickaxe. However,
Reworking the hittable missions and spawner logic, so
exactly.
spawners take damage from pickaxes and explosive damage. So shotguns for the
Yeah,
win.
shotguns for the win. Shoot it a couple of
Yeah,
times and play the rest of the
just
mission in slideshow.
explosive shotgun shell into shotgun equals I win the game. Please get out my way. You all die. So just go and crawl into a hole and run for your lives because I have a shotgun that shoots explosive shells. Yes, if our frames don't tank.
If
So I
the
think
frames
that's the
don't tank,
balancing. Because I think that's the
yeah.
balance of the game. It's like
Yeah,
you use the shotgun shells that go explosiveness, and then that's basically fine. You get no frames, and you don't get to play the game. That's just the rule, and that's
exactly.
the balancing. So
Yep.
yeah.
I mean, explosive shotgun shells is very powerful.
Well, it's not even just explosive. I think it was explosive in general. So
Explosive in
realistically,
general,
currently,
yes.
an entire category of or a classification of certain ammo is unusable because it makes your game unusable. So or unplayable.
Yep.
So yeah, that's
I have had a couple of people who say like, "Hey, I experienced the same."
yeah.
I haven't heard anything from the devs about this yet, though. But we'll see.
Yes. Yeah, I
Let's
see the
see.
Barlab movement. So I see that they were touching sniper-based stuff, so hence I'm not sure if that was particularly only related to the legendary sniper rifle, which, is I think the
Mesh setups just
logical.
visual.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Yes.
this was also audio, and they
Okay.
did some damage tweaks, I think, as well, because yet again, single shot fire, take long time reload equals low DPM, and when
That's a
you're
bolt
playing a
action
game with
actually,
bullets
single
don't.
shot.
Yeah, but it's talking about bolt action. I think it's but bolt
No.
action is chick. You could still have a magazine below it,
Yeah.
but the
True,
mechanism
true,
is
true.
bolt action.
It's not a
So it doesn't
semi-automatic, yeah.
necessarily mean it's a revolver or a weird thing that takes forever to reload, but it's purely a bolt action
Yeah,
because its accuracy is better. But my point still remains:
true.
DPM is lower. Problem with DPM with a game like this where you usually have bullet sponges is you need high damage, and
Yep.
sniper rifles don't play to that or cater to that ability unless
Well,
there
you
is
can
some
start at
really
long
high
range,
crit numbers. No, true, but
and they do more
realistically, yeah.
damage than bolt action, for example.
Yes, but realistically, if I had the assault rifle at a long range, I would still be able to dump more bullets into the target and still, do more
Well,
damage.
assault rifle has a pretty big recoil.
Yes, but it's not that big, especially if you're taking in the magazine clip size differences, etc., etc. But don't worry about
Yeah.
that. It's besides the point. Moving on to the next bullet point.
Let's
Um,
see. So get the
yeah, great
Dusty
hunting
Miner
is.
stuff.
And what sniper rifle thing was.
Sand armor backpack mission lock added, so it requires completion of a Gargantuan mission to unlock. Sand armor and sand backpack. So you have to do the Gargantuan Great Hunt mission. If Gargantuan is in the DLC, it does mean you have to have the DLC for the sand armor and the sand backpack. Okay.
Yeah.
I saw something about drill arrows now basically destroying voxels.
Interesting.
So
I saw something about drill arrows,
yeah.
but yeah.
Basically, let's see, can I find it? Yeah, increased number of digs on drill arrows so they dig through thick walls and basically destroy voxels.
Ah, okay, interesting.
So you can shoot a drill arrow at the cave, at the wall blocking the cave, and like the entire wall is like big hole in it. No stone.
Oh,
You don't get no stone from it. The voxels basically get destroyed.
well, that would be pretty cool. I
Not true.
mean, you know, one of my least favorite activities is digging, taking out a pickaxe and digging myself into a cave. So, yes. But that's about
Talk about
it,
this
because the
one.
rest is more Great Hunt stuff, more sniper rifle stuff, and blueprint stuff, and audio stuff. So,
Quickly going through them. Cooking bench blueprint is now in the crafting bench again. Good. Adding a number on the blueprints in the tech tree to show how many recipes you unlock when you gain the talent, the blueprint. So the base building set, building piece set is like has a little 5 or a little 6 or so. Telling you like how many items is this unlocking. Update mutually exclusive talent icons. Up arrows. So mutually exclusive for a Great Hunt. You have like some mutually exclusive talents, it says here, so blueprints or so. Choose either one or the other. This will have different repercussions for your open world. Talking about that, here's the thing. So if you complete, for example, the Rime Tusk Great Hunt mission, right, and it then causes Rime Tusks to spawn in the wild. That means you can keep on killing Rime Tusks and collect their biomass without having to start a new open world. So there's an answer to one of my earlier questions. Interesting. Adjusting the sandworm gear crafting location to be on the anvil and not in the crafting bench. Why not just all the armor in the textiles bench? Meh. Anyway, these were the future content as well, which means Patchnotes discussion is done. We're gonna take a 15-ish minute break and then we will do some gameplay, which we will do on our Prometheus open world to continue our storyline mission in order to get them done before Great Hunt actually drops. So, I hope you folks enjoyed watching us go through the patch notes. We do it so you don't have to. If you did enjoy, you want to get notified next time I stream, like in 15 minutes, feel free to hit that follow button, or if you watch this on YouTube and you want to get notified next time I upload something, feel free to hit that subscribe button, like would be appreciated as well. Other than that, thanks for being here, really appreciate it, hope you had a good time, and I hope I will see you folks around.